Hey guys, and welcome back to Heritage News. In today's episode, we will recap the events that have happened here at Heritage Academy since our last episode. On the week of September 13th through the 17th, the students packed up their things and headed to Purity Weekend and camp out for a change in routine. The girls headed to Purity Weekend first, while the guys stayed on campus for camping. At Purity Weekend, the students had the opportunity to stay in a cabin amidst the Smoky Mountains and enjoy from a beautiful view. They were also able to enjoy each other's companies as they all had fun and relaxing time while taking advantage of the pools, the different games, and the hot tubs. Personally, for me, it was a great experience to clear my head and grow closer to my friends. Not only did the students enjoy a relaxing and enjoyable experience, but they also got to hear some of the staff personal testimonies. The staff spoke to them about how important it is to remain pure and save yourself for that special person. It was interesting to hear them talk about their personal experiences with relationships and their own love stories. Others talked about very useful and helpful things that will help us in the near future to live happy and successful life according to God's plan. After Purity Weekend, the girls switched with the boys, and the boys headed to the Smokies while the girls came back on campus for camping. Both the boys and girls had a great time enjoying the outdoors and sleeping outside. The boys got a little creative and they decided to build tents outside so that they could sleep under the stars. On the other hand, the girls set up hammocks so that they could sleep outside as well. On the last day of camp out, after doing many fun and interactive activities on campus, the students loaded up the vans and headed to Caney Fork River where they went canoeing. They canoed for about 4 hours and thankfully were blessed with beautiful weather. The students had many laughs as some of the students' canoes flipped and the students got soaked. But after struggling to get back on their canoes, they enjoyed the rest of their time talking and taking in the outdoors. After the week was over, the students were energized and refreshed to continue on with their daily schedules in school. As the school year progresses, our SA has been working really hard preparing activities and worships for the students. As you may remember from our last episode, the first week of school, our SA pastor, Cameron Sanders Jr., started off the school year with a powerful week of worships. A month later, all the SA came together to prepare for another week of worships for the students. After lots of planning and prayer, the group presented their topics, which touched on aspects of our lives that we sometimes don't like talking about or are most of the time avoided. The worship talks focus on our worth being found in Jesus and how to overcome our mental struggles, how to deal with our difficult home lives, and how to learn to forgive those who have wronged us. On Friday night, some of the students shared their personal testimonies about their life struggles and how in the end the Lord came through and gave them victory over their struggles. At the end of the week on Saturday, SA spoke on how we must surrender our pride in order to let God come into our life and touch on the aspects that are untouched in order to heal, restore, and renew our lives. Many of the students were greatly blessed by this week, and we are very thankful for how the Holy Spirit has worked in their hearts and continues to do so. A week after our Purity and camp out, we had our monthly home suppers where once again the students were divided into groups and had the opportunity to dine at different staff houses. After having dinner, the students and hosting staff had small worships to welcome the Sabbath with Bible games, songs, and small worship talks. Afterwards, the students usually spend time fraternizing with each other and the staff while other students continue singing or tell accounts of different anecdotes. The students really enjoy this time where they are able to have good home-cooked meals and have a change in their routine. 2 days after home suppers, the students had fall festival. They had no idea what was planned for this year, so everyone was very curious about what the staff had in store for them. When it was finally time, all the students walked over to the school's field and found carnival games set up all over the field. As the day progressed, the students were able to enjoy different fun games such as human foosball, life-size battleships, soccer bowling, life-size Angry Birds, and giant Uno. In the afternoon, the students had some scrumptious hot dogs and snow cones. The students till this day say that that was one of the best fall festivals they've ever had. Something I found very interesting was that just like on outdoor Sabbath, there was an 80% chance of rain, but God once again came through and instead we had beautiful and sunny weather. Recently, Hurricane Sally made its way towards the coast of Alabama where it struck the town of Fairhope. The people there were greatly affected by the strong winds and rain that the Fairhope Adventist Church unexpectedly called our school asking for disaster aid. As the students here are used to, they quickly packed up the vans and their things and headed towards Alabama on Tuesday morning. Unfortunately, the church didn't have enough space for the whole student body, so only our juniors and seniors were able to respond. Once the students arrived, the church accommodated them and the accompanying staff in different Sabbath school rooms. Early the next morning, the students and staff loaded up the vans and headed to different homes to work on debris cleanup. And after a long day of work, the students headed back to the church exhausted, but with their hearts content from helping those in need. The victims of the hurricane and the church members were extremely grateful towards the students for their hard work and eagerness to help and their kindness. On Sabbath, the students took a break from the work and headed towards the beach for a time to relax and enjoy God's nature. While they were there, they were able to sing together, walk on the sand, and enjoy the view while basking in the sun. Too soon, the students had to return to school on Sunday. And once they arrived on campus, those students who had gone were isolated completely from the rest of the student body. Early the next morning, all of them went to get COVID tested and were not allowed to interact with the other students until their results returned negative. Fortunately, all of the results came back negative, and the students were soon able to rejoin the rest of the student body and resume their regular activities. We are truly thankful that the Lord kept everyone safe and COVID-free.
Hi everyone, my name is Lily Benetham and I'm with Heritage News. And today I'm going to be interviewing Anish Bachchan, a fellow junior, about a disaster response trip that we took to Fairhope, Alabama. So, Anish, how did you feel when you found out we were going on disaster response?
Well, I was so excited. You see, we went on disaster response last year, but we stayed on Heritage campus. We would go to Cookeville, and then we would come back, and you would just sleep over here and everything back in our dorms. But this time we were going to a whole other state, Alabama, and this was my first time going to Alabama. I guess it was the deepest south I've ever been, and so it was really cool just seeing everyone and just being with your friends, staying at a church. I was just so excited. I was really stoked.
That's really great. So how would you say your experience was helping strangers and cleaning up debris around their homes?
Well, at first, I was kind of like, what are we even doing? We're just picking up these branches and just cleaning up, doing yard work basically. But then when you're working with your friends and everything, you can make anything fun. And honestly, just picking up all these logs, chopping down trees, picking up tree branches, making piles on the side, and just having competition with your friends, just stuff like that, And at the end of the day, then just being a blessing to them, it was really nice.
So at the end of a long day of arduous work, how did you feel? What was going through your mind? What was happening?
I was so tired. It was just so tiring. My body was aching. We were picking up logs and stuff, so it was heavy work. But, at the end of the day, it's just so satisfying, just being a blessing to these people. Seeing their smiling faces, it was so nice.
Definitely. So what is the best memory that you can recall that you have from this whole trip?
I made so many memories, but if I had to pick one, it would definitely be the van rides. I am not going to cap. See, we were in the van, right? And so when we're going from different houses, we finish at one house, we're about to go to another house. So we go into the van, and I remember I had a group of friends, right? And so we were doing this thing called My Singing Monsters. We're basically just singing. We have all these different parts, and it was so much fun. I'm just talking to my friends, just singing, just doing things just passing time. And so the van rides were definitely really fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anish, for joining us and willing to be a part of this interview.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
All right, back to you, Stephania.
On September 24th through the 26th, we had our annual Bible conference. Usually the conference is held at Fall Creek Falls, but due to COVID, the conference was held virtually through Zoom. The students had the option to attend from Thursday afternoon through Saturday morning. Those who attended were able to see students from sistering schools through a large TV screen where they were able to interact and listen to the special speaker of the year. Even though this year the students were unable to physically interact with other students, they were still truly blessed by the talks and still had lots of fun interacting virtually.
All right, we're back with Heritage News, and I'm here with Mrs. Saar, and I'm going to be interviewing her about Bible conference that we had in late September. So, Mrs. Saar, what has been your experience with Bible conference?
Well, Lily, it's a pleasure to be here with you today. And my experience with Bible conference, I've really only been working with it directly since 2012, but Bible conference has been happening for over 20 years for the supporting ministry academies. It is a time where delegates from each of the member academies come together. We provide a special speaker, and we focus on helping students to grow spiritually. In recent years, we have had an element of our Bible conference that helps the students experience different ways of studying the Bible in depth to enrich their own personal devotional life.
Wow. So how did you feel when you heard that there was going to be a virtual Bible conference this year? And after that, how did it turn out, it being the first time we've done something like this?
Well, it was a suggestion that was made to us because we were looking at not having a Bible conference this year at all because of the COVID-19 situation. My first response about a virtual Bible conference was, wow, I'm not sure how that's going to work. One of the elements about Bible conference that I believe is very, very beneficial is the fact that students from different schools get to come together and get to know each other to create more of a connection between the schools. And so that can't happen in a virtual Bible conference. So I to be honest with you, I was a little bit not really wanting to do it and understanding how to do it. But we decided as an organization that we would move forward and see what we could do with it. I'm so thankful for the speaker that we had already engaged and to be the presenter, because he has been a teacher in the past, which is very important when you're doing something virtually, to try to make it a little more engaging and interactive as opposed to just a screen feeding you information. So I think that he did a very good job in light of the situation. So I think that it went fairly well. The responses that we got in our survey from the students and staff afterwards was positive, although everyone does prefer to be in person.
Right. That is understandable, but I can see that the Lord worked through that and worked that whole situation out. So what would you say you think the purpose is for Bible conference?
Again, Bible conference is an opportunity for students across our member schools to network together, to understand that they're not the only school out there that follows the same kind of model. And also it is to help students that want to spend a concentrated time really growing and enriching their spiritual experience so that they can go back to their campuses and be a spiritual leader, a spiritual influence on their campuses.
I can definitely agree with what you're saying, because I went to Bible conference and it was an amazing experience for me. It really helped me grow closer to Christ. And what you were saying, about being around other students that share the same faith as you, you guys are able to grow together in that. So I was really blessed by that. But thank you so much, Mrs. Starr, for letting me interview you about Bible conference.
Thank you.
Yes, it's been a blessing. So back to you at the studio.
Our annual Fall Week of Prayer took place starting on October 20th through Saturday the 24th. Typically, we would also go to Fall Creek Falls State Park and invite a special speaker for this week of prayer. But due to COVID protocols and out of caution, we stayed on campus and our student association was the one that presented the messages. The theme for this week's meetings was called The Encounter, where essays spoke about the different encounters that different people in the Bible had with Jesus and how those encounters transformed their lives and their futures. Essay presented these messages morning and nights and ended with a powerful message and appeal on Friday night where some of the students decided to give their lives to Christ through baptism. And on Saturday morning, they ended the week off with a sermon where they spoke about their personal encounters with Christ. During the week, all day Wednesday and Thursday morning, we usually have a work bee at the park to give back to Fall Creek Falls. But instead this year, we had a work bee that was held on campus, taking care of some much needed projects and giving back to our school and staff. During our in-reach, we had projects that included tree trimming, mulching, staining and sealing outdoor classroom decks, picnic tables and staff porches, painting exterior doors, and end of the season mowing and general campus cleanup as well. It was delightful to see all the students and staff working hard with a cheerful and pleasant attitude. By the end of the work days, our campus was looking really sharp, clean, and renovated. On Thursday, our student association began preparing and decorating the gym for our annual essay banquet. They began in the morning while the rest of the students continued to do their in-reach. In the afternoon, the students had the chance to enjoy the beautiful outdoors while playing sports like soccer and volleyball, while others leisurely sat on the cool grass in the shade. After having some fun outside, the students had some time to get ready for the banquet. After having the meeting for the afternoon, Essay came into the chapel and escorted the students into the gym 2 by 2. And as the students came in, they were finally able to see what the theme for the banquet was. This year, the Essay banquet theme was a Mexican fiesta. The students enjoyed the delicious Mexican food and traditional drinks, and some of the students were elated as the atmosphere and decorations reminded them of home. The students and staff had the opportunity to take pictures at photo booths that Essay had set up.
Let me just say this. This is the best party I've ever been to. Banquet, I don't care what it is, bro, but it's good. Essay, y'all did great.
Thank you. It seemed that everyone really enjoyed their time talking and enjoying the nice atmosphere and music. By the end of the night, stomachs were full and hearts were content. I hope you're all now well informed about the different activities and events that have occurred here at Heritage as the school year progresses. Semester finals are coming up sooner than we expected, so please keep the students and teachers in your prayers as they stay focused in their studies. This year is going by way too fast, but we hope that the students keep working hard and continue making life-lasting memories. Thank you for tuning in for Heritage News. And if you like the events that were covered in today's video, please make sure to leave a comment down below, click that thumbs up button, and don't forget to subscribe. See you again in our next news episode. Goodbye.